Good morning and welcome to the Return Homestead. It is cold, it's blustery, we've got sleet coming down, they're calling for snow tonight. So it's the perfect time for me to do some baking because the oven heats the house and it gives me a good excuse to keep the house super warm without running the heating. So today we're going to be making a bulk pantry mix. When it slows down in the wintertime, I like to start stocking the pantry. So I'm usually making seasoned salts, pantry bulk mixes, like cake mixes or so on. So right now, I'm going to be making a bulk muffin mix. Now this muffin mix, you can do anything you want. You can add apples and cinnamon and make cinnamon and apple muffins. You can add blueberries. You can make this one your own. Today, I'm going to be making a Christmas jam muffin. Now, I do have a video out on this, and we'll put a link down below in the description. But Christmas is Wednesday. This is Friday, so it's very close. So I'm going to be making some of these up. You're going to put it in a jar. And this one happens to be a ½ gallon. It fills 2 of these. And I mark it muffin mix. I also put the recipe on the side so that I have easy access to the recipe when I'm super busy, like in the middle of gardening season or whatever. I've got it right there. I don't have to go searching for anything. So in the bowl, I have 12 cups of flour. We'll put the recipe down in the description. Now this makes quite a few muffin mixes. This is not a single batch. So 12 cups of flour, and we're going to use 4 tablespoons of baking powder. The thing with this is you want to make sure it's really mixed well, or you'll end up with all your baking powder in one part of the mix and not the other. A lot of people put it in a stand mixer and let it go while they're doing it. I don't have one of those, so I just whisk it really well. To that, you're going to add 1 tablespoon of baking soda. These jars are nice, but they're hard to use for cooking. And you certainly don't want a spoonful of baking soda when you bite into your muffin. And then 2 teaspoons of salt. And then you're going to add 4 1/2 cups of sugar. Okay, that's 4 1/2. And you want to mix this super well. You want to make sure there are no bumps or clumps of anything. Whoops. And don't make a big fat mess like I just did. Okay, now that that's all mixed, it's time to go ahead and load it in the jar. Again, I've got my jar labeled with the recipe on it. And I'm going to put a lid on this. And what I'm using is a vacuum sealer. It's done by 4 Jars. I'm not affiliated with them in any way. It's a nice little kit. It makes it airtight and shelf stable. And it'll be ready for me when I'm ready to use it. And then I can just reseal it. And it's ready. So this is now shelf stable, and I'll go ahead and fill another jar. So for this mix, in order to make the muffins, the recipe is 2 eggs, and then you're going to need 2 3/4 cups of mix. These jars are great, but they're really hard to get anything out of. So this is a 1/4 cup because that's all that's going to fit. So you're going to need 1 cup of milk, and I have that here. A 1/4 cup of oil. I don't use seed oil, so this is a light olive oil. We can't really tell the difference as long as it's not a real heavy oil. And that's a 1/4 cup. And I'm going to mix this all up, and then I'm going to add my Christmas jam. Now this dough gets pretty thick. Smells good. And I'm going to add about half of this. I'll start out with a 1/4 and start mixing it in. This recipe is not real sweet. It's sweet enough, but it's not a super sweet. It's not like a cake. And so that's about half a pint. And that's it. So once your mix is made up, you can put together muffins really fast. You can add blueberries, you can add raisins, you can add oatmeal, you could put nuts in it, anything. So this is just an all-purpose muffin mix. Now, I'm a lazy cook, so I love these silicone baking dishes. You don't need to oil them or flour them. And you want to fill them half full. They will rise somewhat. My oven is at 400 degrees and I believe it's up to heat by now. If you don't put the jam or something else that will thin it out, this is like almost like cookie dough when you dish it out. Because I put the Christmas jam in it, it thinned it out just slightly. Wow, that wind is really howling. I don't know if that's coming across on camera or not, but it's really howling. Now these will go in the oven for 15 to 18 minutes or until you put a toothpick in and it comes out clean. So there you go. Christmas jam muffins. Now like I told you before, you can adjust this recipe for just about anything, or you can just make plain muffins. Mike thinks they taste like shortbread.
They're a lot like shortbread. It's got a really great texture and a really good flavor.
I hope you enjoy it. They'll be sitting in the pantry ready to go. Just add a few ingredients and 20 minutes later you have muffins. No big deal.
Honey, I'm so excited. I rushed home just because I knew you were baking. I'm looking forward to digging into these tonight. I'm going to wait till after dinner though. We've been working really hard to get ourselves moved down into the other house. It's been a lot of effort, not a lot of exciting things to put on video while we're moving all this stuff from one house to the other though. So we haven't made a lot of videos in the last couple of weeks, and we're probably going to take the next week or so off just to go ahead and take care of Christmas and also the new year. We'll ring in the new year correctly, and then we'll get back to making videos. But from all of us here at the Return Homestead, we want to wish you and yours a very Merry Christmas.
And a Happy New Year. God bless and bye-bye.